My mother died by suicide when I was 20, and there was nothing. We were still, as a society, we were still in the Stone Age.
Yes.
I was 45 when my older sister died by suicide, basically as a ripple effect
Yeah.
of our mother's death.
Yeah.
My father had already started drinking, and though he did not die by suicide, he died by suicide in installments, because most of the time when we visited from Germany with our children, after half an hour, he wasn't there anymore.
Mm.
Until one day I told him how unfair that was, because we were traveling with the small children for 8 hours to visit granddad, and then he was only sober for 30 minutes until he was gone. So in a way, we lost him too after we lost our mom. I was then 54 when Lisa, our only daughter among five brothers, died by suicide,
Mm.
basically repeating the life of my mother
Mm.
without ever having met her.
Yes.
And that would be a whole other book about transgenerational trauma and
Yes.
living out the trauma that's not even yours. She also suffered a lot from migraine headaches and a whole slate of other things.
Mm.
So by the time that she was 18, she wrote in her goodbye letter that her batteries were completely depleted,
Mm.
that she was sorry about it, that it had nothing to do with us, that it's not our fault, that we did the best we could, that she absolutely loved us, and she just cannot go on living. And that was the time when it became clear to me that this keeps knocking on my door.
Mm.
Luckily, always only 10 or 15 years apart, so that I could somehow recover in between. How do you wrap your mind around this?
Yeah.
And my answer was, there are so many things to be said about it, but one thing is for sure, it's only step by step. You cannot do it in any other way. At least I couldn't.
Yeah.
There's no medication, there's no therapy, there's no talk therapy, there's no mysticism, there's no nothing out there that can help you find a shortcut. You have to go through this proverbial valley of the shadow of death and just see what it does with you. Hoping and knowing, after several times I knew, that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And every time the journey was different, because obviously having to let go of your mom is a different experience from letting go of your older sister or of your daughter. And then another 4 years later, my youngest brother followed after having been on medication for more than 20 years. And basically, as the longest ripple effect after losing his mom when he was barely 16. I was 20 at the time, so I had a slight advantage. And so after Lisa's death, we took about 2 years to regain our bearings and to define what we wanted to do with the rest of our lives. I said, okay, this is a new chapter.
Yeah.
There's a life before Lisa's death, and there's a life afterwards.
Mm.
And nothing has ever been the same since. We've had annual meetings uh, in the south of Austria where we live, very beautiful place. It looks like the Lake District. We've been invited to Vienna, to the mayor's palace. Where we were in Paris. We were invited to go to Monaco. Last year, we were in London. We immediately understood that this is not just a private affair anymore.
Yeah.
First of all, I cannot continue trying to make a career in filmmaking when I have this. And maybe with all the talents that I have, it just means I need to take all of them, the singing and the dancing and the writing and the speaking. I need to take all of them and put them into this venture.
Yeah.
Somebody out there above us all will know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I have often said that I'm not living my life. Life is living me.
Mm.
And I find that the less I resist and the less I try to get my own way and the less of an ego I have to the point where it's totally gone, hopefully, the more of a tool I become for something that wants to happen. And so it's also been, to me, it's also been not by chance that you and I have met. The part that you and Collaboration Global has played in last year's event.
Mhm.
I think we're just going from one circle in the spiral to the next, ever higher up. One thing is for sure, none of us knows the answer
No.
to why every 40 seconds one of our brothers or sisters decides to leave this planet by suicide. They are going through tremendous pain and being misunderstood. And once they're gone, it's their family and friends that are going through tremendous pain and being misunderstood because somehow, in many ways, they are blamed for one of their loved ones having left.
Yeah.
And they have to continue living with the stigma that one in their family, in my case, four in my family, in my lifetime, have left. I hope that when watching this video, they find that I'm very normal. I've just had a very unusual life.
Mhm.
And statistically, I'm probably the only person that is on this planet and that you will ever meet that in their lifetime has had these multiple experiences. And our work is to say, look, if it is part of the human experience, we need to talk about it and deal with it in a very normal way.
Harold, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for doing this. It's so sad that you had to experience what you did, but you are not letting it go to waste.